What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on whenever you're tuning in. My name is EQ and welcome to EQ Trades. On today's video, we're going to be going over Stacks or STX. Now, this project I think is a sleeper pick that could potentially get into the top 15 or even the top 10 crypto projects, mainly because of its direct tie with Bitcoin. But before we get into this video, I just want to let everyone know that this is not financial advice. This is not a paid promotion, and I was not paid by any way by the Stacks team. I just like this project a lot. I want to share it with everyone. And I do not currently hold Stacks in my portfolios. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into Stacks, and we'll go into the chart last and do some price predictions. Now, currently Stacks is ranked number 36, sitting at a $2.6 billion market cap. So yeah, this isn't a small gem, but I do think this has the opportunity to get into the top 10. You have a max supply of 1.8 billion, so it's finite, it's deflationary, and they currently have a total value locked of 429 million. So there is a lot of growth in the ecosystem. And when I mean growth, I mean long-term growth going into the next bull run. Now, what Stacks is going to be able to do is allow people to build on the Bitcoin network. Now, Bitcoin itself as a layer 1 solution was not capable of allowing dApps or other solutions to be built on top of it. And that's where Stacks comes in. And this is huge because you're talking about the number one ecosystem, the largest market cap, everything like that. But we haven't had a strong L2 yet. We haven't seen anything like that happen in any sort of bull run yet. And it's safe to say that if we can see Solana and BNB and these other ecosystems have meme coin runs or other dApps that are doing really well, we should be able to see Bitcoin do the same, if not even better. Now, some of the things that are already built on the Stacks ecosystem would be wallets, NFTs, tokens, exchanges, communities, and tools. Some of these tools would be like DAOs, DeFis, social tools, and things like that. There's a pretty long list, so if you want to go through them one by one, I'm actually going to make a list for the Epic Trading Floor. I'm going to go through each and every one of these. I'm going to find the best of the best that I think have great upside potential. Because if Bitcoin does well and Stacks does well, then the dApps are naturally going to do well, and they would be considered, in my opinion, the meme coin picks of Stacks. And what a lot of people don't realize too is Stacks is going to allow the opportunity of proof of stake because it is a DeFi platform. So there's going to be the ability to stake on top of Bitcoin, which is going to be next level. So Stacks is the native token for Hero, Hero.so. You can learn a little bit more about this, but this is actually where you're going to be able to do the dev work. And it's important, and the reason why I'm bringing up Hero specifically is because there's going to be a major piece of news that came out recently in the last basically week where the SEC dropped an investigation on Bitcoin L2 Stacks builder Hero. So this doesn't actually say Stacks in it, but Hero is the web development platform for Stacks. So basically Stacks was cleared by the SEC from being a security or anything like that because it is an L2, so they needed to guarantee that there were no issues moving forward, but those lawsuits were dropped. So this is another reason why I'm very bullish on Stacks, is because they did clear through the SEC and they passed this stage. They're a little bit further ahead than even, let's say, an XRP. And we already know the potential for a project like that when they've already been cleared through the SEC. So Hero is essentially going to allow you to build and deploy apps on Stack, which is going to be the Bitcoin L2 through a hosted development experience. So on Hero is where a majority of the smart contracts are going to be developed. And then the ecosystem or the coins or the tokens that would be running the ecosystem would be Stacks. This would be the actual L2. But again, this is all very bullish to see. And I'm glad that I'm going to be able to tell you and show you all of this early because there is really good buying opportunities long term when you're looking at the chart. So similar to what we saw with Bitcoin, we did break all-time highs in this recent break than what we did in 2021. So that would tell me that this is directly correlated with Bitcoin and Bitcoin price action. So when Bitcoin is performing well, Stacks is naturally going to perform well with it. It's a complementary ecosystem. It's basically like the Polygon Matic for Ethereum. And through this impulse move, we did see price create an all-time high. I'm going to slide this up a little bit more to be even more accurate on the daily at $3.75. Now, when we're looking at this Fibonacci retracement, we can see we bounced perfectly at the 7860 Fib, which is an ideal place for a retracement, especially moving forward long term. We've seen a few support bounces here as well, so it's great to see. Now, I don't know, especially including this new information that we've seen in the market, if we're going to exactly get down to test the double bottom, but you can always put a short-term Fibonacci here and see some other key critical levels like the 6180 at $1.50 to $1.40 could be a really nice buying opportunity long term for Stacks, and really getting in essentially what would look like almost a an inverse head and shoulders pattern. But I do think there is potential here for this to swing back down, especially if Bitcoin decides it wants to swing back down as well. Remember what I was saying, that this is directly correlated with Bitcoin. But looking into the long term, If it does want to remain in the harmonics of this, and we keep the respects of the 7860, or let's say we stay within this golden pocket, we could potentially see price swing all the way on the low end up to the $7 range. And again, I'm saying that as a conservative number, $7 on the low end. If for whatever reason, let's say this wanted to get into the top 10 cryptocurrencies, and mind you, everything is relative, so these numbers are all going to go up. So let's just assume that this currently is sitting at a $2.6 billion market cap, and to get into the top 10, you need to have a 17, let's say $20 billion market cap to get into the top 8. So if it had a $26 billion market cap, that's going to be a 10x move for this, which is great for a project that's in already the top 40 projects. So the ability to even have a potential of 10x is great. And this is a project in an ecosystem that I do think is going to go really far. You have being tied in with Bitcoin, being the largest ecosystem. You have an L2 solution, which is very great and a complementary thing and necessary in order for scaling growth on these layer 1 blockchains. And then you have the sister partner Hero, who's the one that's actually cleared through the SEC, which they did clear the investigation, was great to see. And on the long term, we have a lot of great buying opportunities, and we're relatively low on price right now, but I do think that we could swing a little bit lower and squeeze some better DCAing prices moving into the bull run. And this is going to wrap up this video on stocks. If you found anything useful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next video.